If you want to make a perfectly cooked jollof rice or fried rice and avoid wastage, then this video is for you. Hi guys, this is the part 2 of our series on large cooking. The first thing I want us to note here is the type of rice that you are using matters. Either small grain, long grain or basmati. They are cooked slightly different from each other. Mere looking at some rice, you'll notice how dry their grain is, and this is an indicator that the rice will require more water to cook than the ones that are not as dry as them. Now let's come to measurements. If you're serving a normal takeaway pack, 1 derica of rice will roughly feed about 3 to 4 people. I don't just want to say 3.5 because it depends on the quantity of rice you are putting in the plate. Just know that 1 pint of rice, which is 5.5 derica, feeds about 18 to 20 people. Served in the regular takeaway pack. Well, this measurement still boils down to the type of rice you're using because some rice swells better than some others. This measurement is for normal rice and not basmati. Basmati rice swells better, and the same quantity that we're talking about will feed more people than 18 to 20. Having said that, let me speak briefly on fried rice before we move to jollof rice. I would say that if you want to avoid quick spoilage in fried rice, then you need to make sure that your fried rice is having little or no moisture at all. And a good way to achieve this is for you to fry the rice before cooking and make sure that the rice cools completely before stir frying in your vegetable. The cooling process will help the rice absorb the moisture, and then some will evaporate into air, leaving you with dry grains of rice. This is perfect for fried rice. Now to jollof rice. I would say that is a bit different in the way we cook our home jollof rice to a large quantity jollof rice, and these are what I would recommend. I would advise that you add water to your jollof stew base and bring it to a boil before adding your washed rice. You should know by now that when you're cooking jollof rice, you do not need to parboil the rice. Just wash the rice thoroughly until water runs clear. Please, when you're adding the water to the jollof stew base, don't add too much so that you can adjust accordingly after you add the rice to it. The second thing I would advise, I know you've been told that it is steam that cooks jollof rice and not water. When you're cooking large quantity of rice, please add a bit more water that covers the rice. Emphasis on a bit, so this will ensure that you do not end up with a rice that is not properly cooked or something that looks like an sour. I know you know what I'm saying. Let the water be about some inches above the rice, and you stir occasionally so that the rice at the top can move to the bottom and the one at the bottom can move to the top. This ensures evenly cooked rice. You can also get a sack or an aluminium foil to trap the heat while cooking the rice after the first 15 minutes stir. And please, do not cook on super high heat. Let the heat be moderate to the size of the pot you're using. Adding margarine is very good, but I tell you, it is not compulsory. If your rice is cooked and is shiny, you do not have to use margarine. And if you like to use it, there is no problem at all. A properly fried stew base makes a tasty jollof rice. For my stew base, I usually use 2 different brands of tomato paste together. Let me now tell you the important secret of not making a bland jollof rice. After you add your washed rice to the boiling jollof stew based water, stir the rice and then taste the water. The water should taste as if you added a bit more salt and seasoning to it, yet flavorful. The reason is that when the rice starts cooking, it absorbs the seasoning and salt and to look as if you didn't add anything at all. To make it a bit more than regular, emphasis on a bit. This will make you avoid bland jollof rice. I cooked for 50 people and I used 2.5 pints of rice. When I was done serving, this is my pot and this is the remaining rice. Can you see that the measurement I gave in this video is perfect? I'll stop here for today. Let me know in the comment section if there are any other parts I've not touched in cooking large quantity of rice. See you in the next one.